Dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latram.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Oh, yeah. Let's do it on a Friday, no less. Corey Johnson back at you. 2 big hours coming your way. That's number 9, Drew Brees, first ballot NFL Hall of Famer. And he's right, it is indeed New Orleans. On a Friday, what we do best, the weekend, huh? We're trying to get better at that Monday through Friday 9 to 5 gimmick. But the weekend thing, we're champions of the world. Let's party. It is a Friday. Got a lot lined up for you, about 10 minutes away. Fridays with Fletch. It's a weekly segment. Fletcher Mackel, sports director, sports anchor, sports reporter, sports blogger, sport, and more sports. Fletcher Mackel will join us in about 10 minutes. Get us up to date. You guessed it, the world of sports, like the Saints in free agency. Next month's draft, the Pels, LSU, Tulane, March Madness, all that good stuff. Coming up in the 5 o'clock power hour, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. Some white-collar jobs, what we desperately need. 6-figure salary, filling up a few floors of some CBD building or buildings. Michael Hecht will fill us in on a company that's going to do exactly that. Fill up a few floors of a CBD building, a downtown office building. I think 3 or 4 floors, few hundred jobs. Exactly what the doctor ordered. A nice solid double, if not a triple. Michael Hecht will join us in an hour. So will Scott Craig, a couple of yats, chopping it up on a Friday. Find out what's cooking on this Lenten Friday at Katie's in Mid-City, at Francesca Deli in Lakeview. They got seafood platters at both places that are outstanding. Seafood platters, Francesca Deli in Lakeview, Katie's in Mid-City. It's Friday. It's Lent. Get on it. Vanessa Mata, the Mata Law Firm, Jason Giles King Law Firm, as expected, found guilty, multiple charges in those stage-wrecked schemes. Basically the same charges, essentially the same charges for both. Conspiracy to commit mail fraud and wire fraud, mail fraud, obstruction of justice, witness tampering. Vanessa Mata, Jason Giles, those stage wrecks, costing us, the estimate's about $500 a head. Like you, me, $500 each. Every Metro New Orleanian that has auto insurance pays $500 a year more. That's the estimate, just because of these 18-wheeler staged wrecks. I think you could clearly add another $1,000 to the total, like another $1,000+ for all of us, for the Morris Barts and the Dudley DeBosiers of the world, those hyper-aggressive advertising injury attorneys, that put their moniker up on billboards everywhere. Radio, television, just dominated by it. Someone pulled up, it doesn't matter, 46826, one of the newscasts. They're all the same. It was a 30-minute local newscast. It had about 25 breaks in it. Could be 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds. I don't think any were a minute. 25 total in 30 minutes. I'm guessing about 20 minutes, 21 minutes, 22 minutes of news and a good 8 minutes of advertising in that 30 minutes. It was like 19 of the 25 were injury attorneys, like 19 of the 25. Some attorneys, 3-4 commercials in a 30-minute newscast, like every break we want a spot. No, it's obnoxious everywhere. Vanessa Mata and Jason Giles took it to an entirely different level. Everything was planned out. Like right now, I think you have a lot of Morris Bart, Dudley DeBosier customers where Morris Bart and Dudley DeBosier know that this customer's full of crap. This client's lying. They send him to the in-house doctor. The doctor just throws his arms up. I couldn't see anything. There's nothing on the x-ray or the MRI, but this person saying the right things as far as their neck and back hurts, and who am I to argue? So there's a lot of erroneous, many exaggerated, embellished claims, and some just outright lies, and they're pounced on by these advertising attorneys. They're out there advertising, pushing the narrative that it's okay to sue. Find someone to sue. Go get yours. You know somebody that wasn't hurt either. They sued and got theirs. It's all just a big scam. It's totally 110% taking advantage of the system, selling out. No integrity, no honor, no ethics. Not breaking the law, not in Louisiana, but costing us all money. This one scheme with the 18-wheelers, they say $500 each auto insurance paying customer in Metro New Orleans more a year, $500 more a year in premiums. No, you throw in all the other joker attorneys, it's got to be another grand, like $1,500. And then when I talk about somebody that works for me or worked for me in the past, comes in from Salt Lake City, Utah, where their car was $80 to insure each month. They come to New Orleans and it's $280 a month, another $200 a month, another $2,400 a year compared to Salt Lake City. Got another guy has an SUV, $1,200 for the year in Birmingham, Alabama, $3,400 for the year in New Orleans, another $2,200 annually. So it all adds up. But Vanessa Mata and Jason Giles, as expected, found guilty on multiple charges in those stage wreck schemes. That's good. That's a way to hopefully, send out a message. You can't pull these gimmicks off. You want people that are crooks, that are crooked, that are stealing from us indirectly, directly. You want them caught, found guilty, and put in jail. This is a good thing, not a bad thing. Corey Johnson with you, Fantasy Friday. 4 o'clock hour on this Friday afternoon, brought to you by Young's Dry Cleaning, a New Orleans institution for 86 years. 86 years of excellence since 1940. They've been taking care of New Orleanians. It's real easy. You want to experience the best dry cleaner in the city? There's only one best. It's Young's Dry Cleaning. You can find them online, youngsdrycleaning.com, youngsdrycleaning.com. Friday afternoon edition of the program. Fletcher Mackel's going to fill us in on a very aggressive Saints team. I've never seen him this aggressive in free agency. Never. Filling a lot of voids right away, like first day signings, players that are coveted by a bunch of other teams. the best or close to the best at their position, what's available, the Saints filling needs. And for the first time in a while, the Saints have a starting quarterback. Hopefully he's plays to like an elite level, but you feel pretty confident that at worst you're getting a middle of the league guy, and with a middle of the league guy you can win. They're basically like 3 tiers in the NFL. The first tier, the elite, the middle that you can win with, and the bottom tier where you cannot win with. There's probably 20 starting NFL quarterbacks on planet Earth, like 20. The back end of the league, the last like 8, 10, 12 quarterbacks, starters in the NFL, aren't really starters, aren't winners. They're not capable of leading the team to playoffs and victories. Not all the time, not consistently, not year in, not year out. They're not middle of the league, and they're definitely not elite. They're the bottom third of the starters, and they're really not good enough to win with. That's why every year you have teams that are desperately looking for a quarterback, and they'll bring in retreads. They select first. They'll pick the quarterback first, even though the quarterback might not be top 15 or 20 or 25 in the draft. But they have a need. It's the most important position. They pick first. They don't want to pass it up. No, it's nice to have a starting quarterback. And it's nice to have a problem like Alvin Kamara. Do you keep Alvin Kamara? What's the plan? Do you trade Alvin Kamara? That's like a good problem to have. I hope they keep Alvin Kamara. I hope Alvin Kamara finishes his career in New Orleans. Wouldn't mind them re-signing Cam Jordan. It all has to be good deals. I like what they've done so far. The most aggressive I've ever seen this Saints organization in my life in free agency. And that's a good thing. Hey, if you're pulling up to one of the many Rouse's locations, they're 75 plus. While you're in the parking lot, go to rouses.com. Pull up their webpage, top right corner, daily specials. Click on that before you walk in the Rouses. There's probably a lot of regular items, something on your list right now that's on special today at Rouse's, and you can stock up and grab a few extras. Always great prices at Rouse's, always. Volume buying, 75 plus locations, like I said. But then they have these daily specials where the super low prices are even lower. Rouses.com. Check it out. Upper right-hand corner, daily specials. Rouses.com.
A locally owned fencing company serving the metro New Orleans area for over 20 years.
I'm the fence man.
Thefenceman-neworleans.com.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spot. TM-AC.com, your cool spot.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe. Some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab. Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe. Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years. Serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
Yeah, you right. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Corey Johnson with you. Heading towards the weekend. Boy, hot, cold. We're pretty much on cruise control now. Tomorrow morning, it might be like 57, 58 in the morning, and then that's it. We won't see 50s again for at least a week or 10 days. Maybe not till October. Who knows? But for the next week or 10 days, sunshine, lots of 60s and 70s, will even creep into the low 80s. Some pretty outstanding weather. Maybe you're running heat tonight. Tomorrow afternoon, you'll probably be running air conditioning. If you need AC or heat help in Metro New Orleans or Metro Baton Rouge, think Total Maintenance, tm-ac.com. If you need AC help in New Orleans or Baton Rouge, Total Maintenance. tm-ac.com. Fletcher Mackel joins us. Another edition of Fridays with Fletch. What up, Fletch?
And not a lot, Corey. How about yourself?
Same old stuff. I was thinking of all these places you've been with Olympics, Paris and Italy. And I was watching TV the other day. Los Angeles, man, ground zero the next few years, huh? They got World Cup. They got Super Bowl. They got Olympics. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, no, LA has the next Super Bowl. Yes, you're right. World Cup, there's going to be games. Obviously, LA is one of the big headline cities for that. And then, yeah, the LA Summer Games in 2028. First time they've had games in Los Angeles since 1984. So LA has a lot going for it. I am curious to see how the Olympics in LA are going to work, function, break down. Is someone who's covered 2 Olympics now. I'm curious to see just, look, you're talking about the second biggest populated metro area in the United States behind New York City is the LA area. And then you throw the Olympics in there. It's going to be interesting. The one thing I don't love, and I'm curious to see how it works, is, they're having kayaking and softball in Oklahoma City. And they're going to have flag football at 6 different stadiums around the country and bring the final 12 teams there because flag football is going to be a men's and women's Olympic sport. So I have to admit, I don't love that. I understand that they don't want to build new stadiums and the traffic and the congestion, people living there. But I like it like what Paris did, where the furthest look, I get it. Surfing was in Tahiti, but that's a one-time thing. They had basketball for Paris in Lille, and it was an hour outside. And then when they got to the knockout round of 16, it was in Paris. But Oklahoma City and different venues. I don't know. I don't know if I love that, to be honest with you.
Oklahoma City is part of the Los Angeles Olympics.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
They're having women's softball, which is returning to the Olympics, women's softball and kayaking, because I guess they have some kayaking facility or lake or something there, and are going to be in Oklahoma City. And then the flag football, the opening games are going to be all over from New York and Miami and all over, and then they're going to basically whittle them down and play the championship rounds in Los Angeles. And I understand, like, they need to use the venues in LA for other things before they get to football or flag football. But like I said, I feel like farming so much of it out it just takes away from it.
No, it seems like New Orleans is gaining a Super Bowl advantage because the Super Bowl's been to so many cities now where you're stuck in traffic, like San Fran last year, stadiums 45 miles from the hotels downtown, takes an hour plus to get there. You go into a meeting, it's another hour and a half in the opposite direction. Like the NFL, the people that cover Super Bowls, the media, even the fan experience, they're like, New Orleans is great and these other places kind of suck. The Olympics kind of go in the opposite direction. I mean, Italy, has there ever been Olympics spread out like they were in Italy?
No, and look, and I think LA is looking at that a little bit. So just so your viewers and your listeners know, in Italy, and I just got back from covering it, it was 6 different venues in northern Italy hosted events. So while it was Milan Cortina, there were events in Livigno, in Verona, in 6 different places, actually 6 different cities actually hosted events. And it wasn't like 6 cities like you'd say Kenner, Metairie, New Orleans. I mean, you're talking like Milan to Cortina is 6.5 hours away. Milan to Livigno is 5 hours away. So yeah, they're farming a little bit of it out in LA for a variety of reasons, and I'll see how it goes. But yes, but to get back to your question, LA is in the spotlight. And look, it's one of our country's biggest cities. They've got everything, and yeah, they are kind of the focus of the sports world for the next few years.
Just like the fan that's going to an Olympics is like a vacation. It kind of wrecks it for them where these venues are spread out all over. And then also like the athletes, is there an Olympic village anymore?
Yeah, that was the crazy thing in Italy when I was there. There were like 4 different Olympic villages for the athletes. So some of the people, look, I covered the games in Paris and it was amazing. And then my second time was in Milan. A lot of the people that were longtime journalists or people on the technical side that had covered the Olympics for a long time told me that while Milan is a world-class city famous for finance and fashion and food and culture, and it was great, if you were in parts of the city, you had no idea the Olympics were going on because it was so spread out. And yeah, for even some of the athletes, there was an Olympics village in Cortina, then there was a village in Livigno, then there was a village in Milan. So there was a village, but it was there were several of them. So like I said, I can't wait to see what LA does and how they do it. But I am not a fan of some of these spread out stuff like that.
It's another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel's with us from Channel 6 Sports. I heard you hooked up with Briggs Barrios.
I did. You and I tiptoed around that last week or 2 weeks ago whenever we talked. Yeah, he's great guy. Valedictorian at Jesuit, baseball player at Tulane, and now he's got a company that Super Witch ice cream is really good stuff. So we're going to have a profile on him coming up soon on WDSU.
Yeah, the drop on Wednesday went down. I went to the site right away. I was about to order like 3 or 4 pints. And then I'm like, all right, man, you had one last week. Why don't you wait a week? And then about 45 minutes, I go back on the site again, and I was probably going to break down and order something. And they sold out of everything that I wanted. It's pretty ingenious. I mean, he sells everything out on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, he distributes the ice cream that you purchased on Wednesday, and apparently is doing really, really well with it. It's good stuff. I've had both the ice cream that you get by the pint and the soft serve over at Il Supremo Pizza off Metairie Road.
Yep, I had Nick Huff's pizza and go right to the ice cream and the cookie and the ice cream. It's a pretty good double headery if you're an old Metairie.
It is. That's a good one. You can get a slice or two of pizza from Il Supremo, and then walk about 30 feet to the side, and that chocolate chip cookie with the soft serve, the hot cookie, pretty damn good, Fletch.
Yeah, it's great. I would agree with you on 100%. They've got some. They know what they're doing, and they're doing a good job at it.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Hey, Fletch, the Saints appear to know what they're doing. Pretty aggressive in free agency. I've never seen them this aggressive before, and they keep adding more pieces, not starters, but some pieces.
Yeah, and again, look, it's been a long time since the front office and the fan base was on the same page, but I think they are right now, to be honest with you. I think that, for the first time in a long time, the fans love the moves that have been made, even the down the line moves. But there's optimism around the Saints, and we haven't seen that probably since the end of that Sean Payton, Drew Brees era. And even Sean Payton's last year with the quarterback situation and 5 different quarterbacks and him leaving, that season was a difficult one. So it's been a long time, but yeah, I think with Tyler Shock and the draft class in recent years that they pieced together, the moves this offseason in a division that is very winnable. The one thing the Saints have not miscalculated on is their division is wide open. They don't have a Kansas City Chiefs in this division, so to say. I think Tampa Bay is what they are. They're a 5 or 10 win team max. I don't know what Carolina is, even though they're getting better with their new coach and in Bryce Young at quarterback. And then Atlanta, I mean, who knows what 2 is going to be with Stefanski. So it'll be interesting. I do think the Saints realize, though, this division is wide open.
Every year you're going to have some optimism, but, I mean, I think it's rooted in legitimate things like Kellen Moore settling in as a coach, how they finished the end of last year. Tyler Shock, you have a quarterback. You have the 8th pick overall in the draft coming up. You might get a starter right there. That's what's expected. You've attacked free agency more aggressively than in the history of this organization, filling key holes. And lastly, what you mentioned, that the division is a joke. It's totally 110% up for grabs. Any team could win it, pretty much except Atlanta, basically. And the Saints have as good a chance as any team. So it's legitimate optimism, Fletch. It's just not. It's not off, season optimism. I think it's legitimate.
Yeah, and let me say this too. And look, no offense, I have no love for Atlanta. I understand they're the Saints' biggest rival. But if Tua was ever going to have success, Stefanski's an offensive coach. You've got, a domed stadium where you don't have to deal with the elements in the weather, a division where it's all warm weather teams. You're not going to play in Buffalo or in the snow of Kansas City like they did in that playoff game. If Tua's ever going to resurrect his career, this is it. And I don't think he is, but if he is, Stefanski, the weapons they have there with Bijan Robinson and the receiver and the tight end.
Yeah.
So again, I wouldn't just completely dismiss the Falcons, even though I like to and it's easy to. I don't look at them as, oh my God, they're just the worst of the worst.
No, fair enough. Another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Taking a quick break. Coming right back, we'll talk about that 8th pick in the draft, where the Saints could be heading. Fletcher will give us his take on that. Plus Pels, March Madness, LSU, Tulane. Don't move, New Orleans. A lot coming your way on a Fantasy Friday edition of the program.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSagency.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this Lamarck Automotive Complex is something called Quick Lane. Tires, wheel alignments, struts, servicing your transmission. We do in all makes and models. It doesn't have to have been purchased from us. It's for you. It handles your lifestyle with your budget in mind. And we want to get you in and out as quick as possible. Quick Lane, you got to come see it. You're going to love the experience. Right there at Williams Boulevard in Kenner.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
you'll never have to clean your gutters again. Ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Hey, if you need a great pair of prescription eyeglasses, you need a great pair of sunglasses, summer's coming. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Before you spend hundreds of dollars at the strip mall, at some chain store, at the shopping mall, Art and Eyes on Magazine. Google them. Art and Eyes on Magazine. Another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel's with us. All right, Fletch, the Saints have Alvin Kamara, and they just got Etienne. Will Kamara be around come September?
So you're asking my opinion. I don't think so. We shall see, but I don't think so. I think that the writing is on the wall. Kellen Moore's body language and answers kind of said that. And look, they signed another running back this week. So that's a crowded running back room. I just feel like they're in a new chapter. And DeMario is gone. Taysom will be gone. I don't think Taysom's coming back, even though he's a free agent. I think he'll either retire or he'll end up, in Denver, Seattle, or LA if he plays one more year. I don't think Alvin's going to be back. I think he'll be cut or traded. And maybe Cam, maybe, but I'm not even sure about that. So, yeah, crazy times.
No, it is crazy times. With the Etienne signing, Kamara's still on the roster. This kid they signed this week, the backup running back, is the kid from Notre Dame out of the picture now at number 8 overall, the running back?
Oh, yeah. No, there's no chance, Jared. Look, I saw one. I think if the Saints and the Kansas City Chiefs also needed a running back, and they went and signed the free agent from the Seattle Seahawks, who was maybe the number one, the number 1 and 2 running backs on the market, went quickly in the first 2 days because two teams needed them. And the Saints are picking 8, Kansas City's picking 9. And I think that those are two veteran general managers in veteran front offices. And they had, I don't think there's any belief that Jeremiah Love will make it to 8 or 9. Like I don't even think they'll. Yes, no. So the kid from Notre Dame's not getting there. There's no way. Like I see talk now where maybe 3 to Arizona, or 4 to Tennessee, or 5 to the Giants, or 7 to the Commanders. But I think they both realize, they being the Saints and Chiefs, that there is like a 0.01% chance we get this guy, and we just can't wait. We both have running back issues. We need to sign free agents.
If he's I meant it just that you got Etienne. You're saying it like they got Etienne because they know they wouldn't get Love. If he's available, will they draft him at 8th?
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. If he's available, I think maybe then it pushes you to a different spot of, oh no, he may be our number 1 player. But I think they again, being the Saints and the Chiefs, they both made these moves because I think they look at it and say, there's no world. Like, we just don't see it. Like, how does he possibly get there? Like, we both feel comfortable spending $50 million in free agency when we could both draft a running back at 8 or 9. But I think both those organizations looked at it and said, again, nobody knows what's going to happen until it happens. But I think they both felt like, he just can't. Like, it's almost an impossible situation. How does he get here? You know?
It's another edition of Fridays with Fletch. Fletcher Mackel's with us from Channel 6. Trey Yen's been with you for 45 plus years in Mandeville, one of the best seafood restaurants. You looking for a great Lent place tonight? Trey Yen in Mandeville. Not only great Chinese cuisine, some of the best seafood in the metro area. Tonight, during Lent, make it Trey Yen in Mandeville. The 8th pick overall, wide receiver, cornerback.
Yeah. Safety, Caleb Downs. Edge rusher, David Bailey, if one falls. The one thing I feel pretty certain about, they ain't taking an offensive lineman. Like, I think they feel pretty good about their O-line right now. And so I would say, if the kid Tate from Ohio State is there at wide receiver, he very well could be the first wide receiver off the board at number 8. Mansour Delane, the cornerback from LSU, could be the number 1 cornerback off the board. The Saints have Kool-Aid McKinstry and Quincy Riley. They could certainly use like an ace cornerback, like a lockdown number 1. I think that Caleb Downs, the safety from Bama who transferred to Ohio State, I think that he would offer Brandon Staley a lot of versatility to move around like a chess piece. And then if somebody like David Bailey, who was one of the best rushers in the country at Texas Tech, if he was the guy who fell because other guys rose, I could see that. But yeah, I would bet yes. Wide receiver, cornerback, maybe edge, maybe safety. I would kind of look at that grouping of 4 right there and say, if one of those 4 players is there, I think that those are your guys. Like, I would say that's the Saints tier 1 is Tate, Delane, Bailey, and Downs. And then if all 4 are gone, then it becomes a little bit more of a conversation, but I think one of those 4 will probably be a Saint.
I mean, with special teams players, you got like 23, 24, 25 starters. I mean, the Saints are going to have 20, 25%, maybe 30% new starters. I mean, new starting running back, new starting offensive guard, new starting linebacker. The 8th pick's going to be a starter. You're probably going to have another starter out of the draft or 2 somewhere else. I mean, you got 4, 5, 6 new starters on this 2026 Saints team, guaranteed.
Yeah. No, I mean, look, yes, I think you're right. Look, and Tyler Shuck only started at the end of this season.
Yep.
So it's not like he's some entrenched, like, years-long veteran. But, yeah, I mean, look, they could have a new wide receiver, too.
Yes.
They're certainly going to have a new tight end number 2 in Noah Fanton, and Foster Morrow's gone. So, yeah, there's going to be we are in a new chapter. Like, I think the Saints knowingly are moving away from – it took them a long time to do it, but they are this is now the Kellen Moore, Tyler Shuck era. For better or worse, we'll see how it works out. But the hanging on to Alvin because he knows the offense or Cam because he's a piece of our past, I think the sentimentality for a lot of that is gone.
What's up for the Pels? Just finishing out the string?
Yeah, look, I'll say this. That the Pelicans have won 6 straight at home, 9 of their last 13. Believe it or not. Now, look, they're playing a lot of tanking teams. But here's the thing. Like, Golden State's not tanking and they beat them. The Clippers aren't tanking and they beat them. There's like a lot, that they are, they're hitting like a nice stride here. It's too little too late. They can't make the playoffs or the play-in. They can make the play-in if they like 1 out or something, but that's just that's not going to happen. But they actually have played pretty well, believe it or not. Like, since DeJounte Murray came back, they've actually played pretty good basketball offensively and defensively. From an efficiency standpoint, they've been one of the better teams in the league. So they can actually, like the Saints, enter the offseason with some momentum. And, maybe this saves James Borrego's job and he gets to coach his team next year. But believe it or not, it's not just finish it out and move on. They actually have gotten a little bit of positivity going here.
Lots of great storylines with March Madness.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, High Point winning yesterday I love the upsets. I'm curious to see, because one thing that, and you and I have talked about this with college athletics and NIL and payments to student athletes now, it's harder for teams like High Point, in Butler, in VCU, in Loyola Chicago, in Florida Gulf Coast, teams that have made these Cinderella runs to make real runs. So I'm curious to see when we get to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, and the Final 4, is it anybody but number 1 and number 2 seeds? Because that, to me, is what makes March Madness fun. Yesterday's game when High Point upsets Wisconsin is great. I love it. And again, I hope we see more of it. But the last couple of years, what college sports has become, it was always the have and have-nots, but there was more parity. Now it's the super haves versus the have-nots, and we'll see how it all unfolds.
McNeese was the only Louisiana team in the tournament?
The only men's team was McNeese, and then 2 women's teams. LSU plays tonight, and it's like a 50-point favorite over Jacksonville. And Southern's women are in. So, yeah. So Louisiana in recent years, we are not exactly Tobacco Road. And it's been some real bad years for college basketball in our state. Besides McNeese with Will Wade and now, McNeese this year, men's basketball is pretty rough to follow and cover these days.
Fletcher, heard this one. LSU and Lane Kiffin have offered a football scholarship to R.J. West. He's an 8th grader. He's 14 years old. He attends West Ridge Middle School in West Monroe.
Okay. No, I did not hear that, to be honest with you. I've been on vacation this week. But again, look, here's the thing. That to me isn't new. I remember, there's always been these guys that are these phenoms at a young age, and they start getting scholarship offers. Like, I remember, I think Peyton Manning got like his first scholarship offer his freshman year because he took over as a freshman starter. And I don't know who it was, Archie or Peyton could tell you, but they're like, we got an actual offer at like 15 years old.
It's just hysterical. What's crazy, these kids pulling up to the high school gym in like the Gullwing Lamborghini to announce their college choice.
Yeah, that to me, and look, I'm all for young people having an opportunity. The one thing I always say about college athletics that I get back to is like there needs to be probably some type of regulation or something to keep it in check a little bit, because right now it's about 25 schools that can win, and they're just distancing themselves, LSU being one of them, from the rest. And too many schools are just minor league programs now.
No, it needs federal oversight. You don't want to be boxing or horse racing. just
you're right.
The Wild West.
That's a good point. That's
Fletch,
good.
always a pleasure, man. What you got going over the weekend on Channel 6? We got about 10 seconds.
Got Pelican Saturday, LA Derby tomorrow. So we'll be at the fairgrounds tomorrow, Louisiana Derby. 113th running. Beautiful weather.
Nice. Perfect weather. We'll be checking that out. Thanks, Fletch.
All right.
That's Fletcher Mackel, Channel 6, WDSU Sports. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, you right. If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com.
The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, it's open now. We fix cars and trucks. We do all makes and models. And it doesn't have to be a Ford or a Lincoln. It could be whatever you're driving. 32,000 square feet under roof, now open at 3101 Williams Boulevard. It's all about you, the customer, getting the most for your dollar. I would say the most perfect collision center anywhere. The Lamarck Automotive Collision Center, 3101 Williams Boulevard. Go check it out.
Artificial turf custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
You'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans.
True.
Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Yeah, you're right. Corey Johnson back at you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Gorgeous day in New Orleans. Doesn't get much better than this. Got about 2.5 hours of daylight left in the day. Doesn't get dark till around 7:20. 77 degrees, low humidity, sunny skies. Just absolutely gorgeous outside. Perfect. Get outside and enjoy it. So nice. Tomorrow morning we'll wake up. It'll be like 57, 58 degrees. And then we may not see the 50s again till like October. Who knows? We might get another cold snap. I think we will. I wouldn't bet against it, but we might not. And my point is, after tomorrow when we wake up and it's the high 50s, for the next week to 10 days, we wake up and it's low 60s every morning. We creep into the 70s, and some of these days we're going to hit low 80s. And that's for the next week to 10 days. No rain in sight, sunny, clear. San Diego weather, 60s and 70s primarily for the next week to 10 days, and low humidity. Just absolutely perfect. I think winter ended yesterday or the day before. It's first day, second day of spring right now. So we're having incredible weather. Just mild, not cold, not hot, just perfect. Like right now, 77 and sunny, and 2.5 hours of daylight left in the day. Go knock out 9 holes of golf. Go knock out a set of tennis. Get to the hunting blind, the fishing hole, do the landscaping, walk the dog, walk yourself. Go to City Park or Audubon Park. World-class parks, both of them. World-class. As nice as any parks anywhere. Go walk around those parks. Get outside, enjoy this weather. If not today, sometime over the next week, week and a half. It's just too good. It's too nice out there. Go dine on the patio tonight at Katie's in Mid-City, as New Orleans as it gets. Yeah, take advantage of outdoor dining with this weather like it is. So nice outside. Get with friends and family. Get outside because summer's coming. Going to be sitting inside anyway. It's like I tell my friends that are like 50, 60, 70, even in their low 80s that are still active. I'm like, go on that trip. Go do that. Because in 20 years, we're going to just want to be sitting on the sofa watching TV by default. So you're active, you're proactive, you're thinking like that, thinking young, wanting to do things, do them all. Do them all. No, when the weather's like this, for the next week, 10 days, get outside and do stuff outside because in about 6 or 8 weeks, for about 6 months straight, it's going to be New Orleans summer. And it's going to be 90 degrees every day and 90% humidity and hot as hell. And we deal with it. It's fine. But this is San Diego weather. So dine outside. Take advantage of it. Vanessa Mata of Mata Law Firm, Jason Giles of the King Law Firm, as expected, found guilty multiple charges in these staged wrecks. This scheme, conspiracy to commit mail fraud and wire fraud, mail fraud charges, obstruction of justice, witness tampering. Essentially, Mata and Giles, same charges, essentially, just slight differences. Same with their law firms. No, a big win for the feds, as expected. I had CJ Mordock, Craig Mordock, on the show a few weeks ago. He had been at the trial the first few days, was very impressed with the defense and the attorneys and the picture they were painting. And I was like, you know, CJ, put your brakes on. It's early in the trial. The feds haven't even, come up with their case yet. Wait a minute. Besides the fact that the amount of evidence, the people pleading guilty, it was just so early in the trial. And CJ Mordock's an attorney himself. But I just thought it was a little early, giving so much credit to the defense. And I never thought for a minute that the feds weren't going to win this trial just because of what I said. So many people pleading guilty, 60 people, how blatant and ridiculous it was, the connections to these lawyers, the egregious acts of these lawyers allegedly. No, just too much to overcome. Too much to overcome. So Vanessa Mata, Jason Giles, federal grand jury finds them guilty. I should say, I guess it's a federal jury finds them guilty. Hey, Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. is going to join us in less than 10 minutes. We'll literally start the 5 o'clock power hour with Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans, Inc. and find out about a few hundred jobs going into a few floors. I think like 3, 4, 5 floors of Place St. Charles, major CBD skyscraper, white-collar jobs paying north of $100K each. Exactly what the doctor ordered. We need to fill those CBD buildings with jobs. We need a domino to fall so desperately in New Orleans. We need something big like Meta or Microsoft or Cisco Systems, some defense contractor to put 500, 800, 1,000 jobs, real jobs in the CBD in New Orleans, bring people, hundreds of people in from outside New Orleans that move here, hire hundreds more in New Orleans that live here, all in the CBD. No, we need a big domino to fall. You get the big domino to fall, you can get other dominoes to fall. I'm loving this announcement. This defense contractor, boat builder, I think. We'll get the straight poop from Michael Hecht in a few minutes. I love the few hundred jobs, but we need a big domino to fall where it just changes the whole outlook of New Orleans, the perception, all these CEOs, Fortune 500 types, just changes the game. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Yeah, Michael Hecht to start the 5 o'clock powwow. And we'll head over to Katie's and Francesca Deli, one of the two. Scott Craig will join us. It's Lent. It's Friday. Seafood platters at both Francesca Deli and Katie's. Huge seafood platters that feed so many people. You end up paying like $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 a head for a fantastic seafood platter. Katie's does the fried seafood right. I can promise you that. Had a fried shrimp platter at Katie's about a month ago. Fantastic. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday afternoon. LGD Lawn and Landscapes. Go to their website, nolalgd.com, and check out all the artificial turf, synthetic turf installations they've installed all over Metro New Orleans, even chipping and putting greens like they installed in my backyard. nolalgd.com, a lot more affordable than you might think. Yeah, radio and TV guy has a chipping and putting green in his own backyard. Zero maintenance. Get a free estimate. nolalgd.com. Check out all the installations around the Metro. nolalgd.com. Yes, Blue Boy, very dog friendly. 5 o'clock powwow. Michael Hecht joins us to start things right on the other side. The 5 o'clock powwow, a Fantasy Friday, right now.
You're on the neutral ground with Corey Johnson on TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube, on radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM, WSLA New Orleans.
It's 5 p.m.
Ford F-150, #1 seller in America. What about in the USA? Let's see, what about in the world? Who sells more trucks than Ford? Nobody. It's because the Lamar team is the real team. All that makes it happen is one goal. Everybody having a great experience at Lamar Ford. We became #1 for a reason, because we're good. And we need to prove it every day, every deal, all the time.
Young's Dry Cleaning has free pickup and delivery. That's right. Young's Dry Cleaning has absolutely free pickup and delivery. Home or office, East Bank or West Bank. Call Young's at 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. My Sittu, that's Arabic for grandmother, used to make the best football kibbe. You can experience kibbe just like my grandmother used to make, and so many other Middle Eastern favorites on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
Because I'm the Fence Man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the Fence Man.
TheFenceman-NewOrleans.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent. Artificial turf, custom golf putting greens. Beautiful, functional, zero maintenance. Call New Orleans' own LGD Lawn and Landscapes and get your free estimate.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-JC.com, no cool spots.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters, and
you'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
Let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live. We live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love. More. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
Yeah, you're right. Let's do this thing. 5 o'clock power hour on a Fantasy Friday. Corey Johnson back at you. We're bringing Michael Hecht in early. This segment on a Friday always brought to you by Latrim, the global manufacturing giant. They're hiring. Latrim.com for a full listing of positions available. Latrim.com. Michael, how are you on this gorgeous Friday?
And it's that time of year, French Quarter Fest time. It's fantastic. We're trying to help the French Quarter Fest people get a new sponsor. Chevron was there for a long time, but, you beat up on a company long enough and they say, why are we doing this? So I don't blame them.
How do you mean you beat up on a company long enough?
It's between the state suing Chevron and the city treating them like dirt after all they did after Katrina. We lost them.
They're still in Covington on that campus, though, right?
Oh yeah, I just mean the French Quarter Fest.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. I just want to make sure they're still in Covington.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, they have a huge campus, hundreds of people. They're a great company, a great partner.
No, that's a tough loss, and that's hard to fill that void. I'm sure that was a gigantic. I don't know the dollar amount, but it had to be massive.
It was a lot. It's a bit like, how do you fill, Sexth Avenue? It's not clear.
No, you're right. Is there a Nordstrom's out there? Is there another Chevron type that can fill that void? No, that's a hard one. No doubt about it. Hey, some good news. Tell us about, what is it, Saronic?
This is a great one. This is a company we've been working with for a long time. We brought them to Louisiana from Texas, from Austin. They build autonomous drones, autonomous ships for the Navy. And they've got a shipyard out in Franklin, which I think is out near Lafayette.
Yep.
But they're now opening up their headquarters in Place St. Charles, 15,000 square feet in Place St. Charles. And that's huge for two reasons. One is that we just need people to be coming down to, back to downtown. The other is that it shows that we can have these companies that are located in other places, like, near Morgan City out in Iberia, but they're going to headquarter in New Orleans. And that means that that's a great arrangement, because we can have this industry all over Louisiana
with back office or white collar jobs downtown, and that'll work just fine.
No, that's key. I mean, I like the jobs on the river, but getting white collar jobs, a few floors of a major office building getting leased out, a few hundred jobs paying north of $100K each, that's gigantic.
It's gigantic. Yeah, it's really nice. So it's a nice double win, and our defense industry in general is doing great, even before the Iran war. But somebody was asking me, they said, "How is this war impacting Louisiana?" And I said, "Well, the honest truth is that in the near term, it's positive because every dollar on a barrel of oil is $12 million to our treasury. And we've got a lot of defense industry, and we're selling our natural gas to Europe. So, it doesn't help us in the midterm if there's a lot of inflation or a global crisis. But immediately, it's probably a net positive if, we're being truthful about it."
Yeah, no doubt. Michael Hecht's with us from Greater New Orleans. See, Michael, I was talking about how we just need a major grand slam, that first domino to fall, like Microsoft or Meta or some major company bringing 500, 600, 700 jobs to the CBD, hiring hundreds of local people and bringing in hundreds of people from out of state to New Orleans. We get something like that, and the dominoes can fall. I used to talk to Weigel at the Downtown Development District about Canal Street. They're looking for one or two major retailers to come, and then the dominoes fall where maybe the whole street gets redeveloped.
Yeah, I mean, you got to both be whale hunting at the same time that to mix metaphors, that you're creating a better butterfly garden to attract talent and other companies. And it's got to be a combination of the two for, obvious reasons. Whale hunting is uncertain. And sometimes you can get a whale, like we had GE whale, or DXC was a whale, and GE Capital was gone a few years later, no fault of ours. GE just got upside down because of Boeing getting upside down because of the 737 MAX. And DXC, we thought was a whale, turned out to be a large fish. So you gotta hit it all ways. But I'll tell you, the things that this mayor is doing, that this council is doing, the approach of just creating the right conditions for a place where people want to live and work, that's really what you got to do, is create the conditions. It's kind of like, Corey, when you're going out, you don't have a date, but you're like, I'm going to see where the night takes me. And, I'm thinking your typical night. You start probably at Fat Harry's, then you go to the Boot, then you end up at F&M's and maybe Snake and Jake's. I'm thinking a typical Corey Johnson night. But before, you manscaped. You put on the nice cologne. You trimmed your toenails. What you're doing there is you're creating the conditions for success. It's not certain, but one thing's for sure, if you don't do that, there's no opportunity. So that's what it's like.
Yeah, it's pretty certain with me, Michael.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're Captain Layup, then okay.
No,
but luck is preparation meeting opportunity. You always told me that about your dating life.
It better be 8.5-foot goals if I'm Mr. Layup. the basketball thing.
Have you seen this? Have you seen this guy Kareem Abdul-Jabbar playing for?
Yeah.
I love March Madness.
No,
it's the best.
You get all these characters. He's got on the goggles, big old guy. He's got some good moves, man. He's just lumbering, but he gets it done.
Yeah, a bit of that like Jokic type of thing. Who's this team that where it's like High Noon or High Point, or it sounds like a fake school, but it's weird. It's like a rich person school.
Yeah, they just pulled an upset. Our high schools probably has a larger enrollment where we went to high school probably than that school. No, it's crazy. That's the great thing about March Madness. Anyone can win. Can they continue to win? But still, even the upsets are great, and the characters.
The characters. It's pure sport. I love it.
Hey, DXC's name's still on that old Freeport McMoran building across from the Dome. How many people are they employing in that building?
Well, it's interesting. They've got over 300 in the state, but they never really returned in person. It's all remote. So people are working in and around Louisiana. They are Louisiana employees, but they're not necessarily in that office building every day. So, I'd love to have them back in there full time, but the company is stable. It's got a real presence. They helped us out with recruiting for the police. They've been good. And, it's not the 2,000 jobs that was announced up front, but, if I was announcing a 300-job global tech company to you, you'd call that a triple or a home run.
Hey, what's going to go in the Saks spot? You mentioned it a few minutes ago, Canal Place.
Well, ideally it would be a large upscale retailer, but there just aren't that many of them left anymore. Who is it? There's Bloomingdale's.
Nordstrom's, maybe?
Nordstrom's, but Nordstrom is out at, aren't they out at Lakeside?
No, that's Dillard's.
Oh, that's Dillard. Yeah, so Nordstrom's. So you either got to go with one of those small handfuls, or you got to break up that 75,000 square foot space, which I don't love, but it's just kind of the times we're in now, right?
Hey, Michael, Southern Living had best cities in the South, and their prerequisites were history, music, art, food, and culture. I don't know how New Orleans came in fifth. History, music, art, food, culture. We might be number one in America.
Yeah, who was in front of us?
The usual trio, which I don't even think are cities. They're like big towns. Charleston, Savannah, and Asheville. Great places, but really towns.
That's a different thing. Even Charleston is, okay, if you're looking for like places to go and stay in an Airbnb, maybe. New Orleans is on the upswing now too. I keep saying this. We had this great press conference today at the airport announcing the expansion plan. We're trying to get the FAA to approve. The airport was just voted best in North America for the 5th year in a row. That's crazy. And the new expansion plan is going to add 15 more gates. It's going to turn the South Terminal into cargo and repair. They're building that road so you don't have to go on the backlot tour of Kenner anymore. Charity's going forward. River District's going forward. We were down at the NSA site. It's been cleaned out and lit up. It looks fantastic. The Louisiana International Terminal's going forward. Things are, I haven't felt this optimistic since first term Mitch. And first term Mitch was a little bit more of just like the comeback Braveheart type of energy. I think now it's more grounded, frankly.
Hey, Michael, let's talk about the specifics with the airport when we visit next week.
I'd love to, man. Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Needs to be talked about more.
No doubt about it. It's an entire second terminal being built, right?
Yeah, new terminal over by the A concourse.
Yep. Michael, always a pleasure.
Enjoy the beautiful weather, Corey.
No doubt. You do the same. That's Michael Hecht from Greater New Orleans Inc. He's right, New Orleans. Get out and enjoy this ridiculously nice weather. It's as good as it gets, San Diego, and it's going to be this way for like the next week to 10 days. Lots of 60s and 70s. So get outside, enjoy the weather. Plus, daylight till almost 7:30 now. Extended days.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots. Total maintenance keeps you cool. TM-AC.com, your cool spots.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Here at the NOLA Coalition, we love our kids and we love our city. The people of New Orleans are standing together for a better future. By harnessing our collective resources, the NOLA Coalition will create a safer, more prosperous city for all residents. Your support is needed to help reduce violence, invest in our children, and drive generational change. Join now at nolacoalition.info.
Francesca Deli and Pizzeria has over 15 specialty sandwiches, a big 10-ounce burger, and some of the best pizza in New Orleans. Francesca Deli and Pizzeria on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview between Canal Boulevard and West End.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet, Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line, Lebanon's Cafe. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralocks, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralocks technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralocks is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf fish robber, usually
steak knife
speckled
for
trout or
Lent.
puppy drum,
Yummy.
topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
The man's right about the steak knife for Lent. Corey Johnson with you, Fantasy Friday edition of the program. It's the 5 o'clock power hour. Yeah, you're right. You can always check out the program after the fact at 6 o'clock. The podcast via Spotify. You can check out the program after the fact on X, on Twitter. Follow me at Corey Johnson. You can check it out after the fact on YouTube. The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson on YouTube. Click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Doesn't cost a thing. And you can check us out live right now on X and YouTube. Every weekday afternoon, 4 to 6 o'clock, we're on radio, television, and social media platforms, X and YouTube. More to come. And short clips on 5 different platforms, the big 5, X and YouTube, also TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out our short clips all week long. No, you might have missed the 4 o'clock hour with Fletcher Mackel. He stayed with us 2 segments, discussing a lot of stuff like the Saints and free agency and how aggressive they've been. They've got a quarterback. They appear to have a head coach. They just got a new starting offensive guard, new starting linebacker, new starting running back. They've got the 8th pick in the draft. They're going to get a new starting wide receiver or cornerback or safety out of that selection, defensive end, something like that, a starter. And then at least one other starter through the draft, ideally 2. So you've got like a half dozen new starters, about 25% of the team, plus a quarterback, finally. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go Shuck is elite, but Shuck definitely looks better than the bottom third of the NFL, and that bottom third, you can't win with them. Addressing the needs aggressively via free agency, good draft picks coming up, quarterback, a division that is 110% up for grabs. No, there's actual legitimate reasons to be optimistic about the Saints, which is refreshing. I mean, every offseason, people are going to be optimistic and have hope, but it's based off of very little a lot of the time. Not this year. There's lots of things to be hopeful for. There's actual expectations with this Saints team. Actual expectations. Gotta like that. Gotta like this, because they're criminals and they were found guilty. Vanessa Mata of the Mata Law Firm, Jason Giles of the King Law Firm, found guilty, both of them and their law firms, multiple charges in these staged wreck schemes with the 18-wheelers, primarily happening out in New Orleans East. they say, they being the experts in the industry, these 18-wheeler staged wrecks alone, just this scheme alone, costs every auto insurance paying customer $500 more annually on their premium. $500 more a year. Each and every one of us in Metro New Orleans that insure a vehicle. $500 more, just this scam alone. Think about the Dudley DeBosiers, the Morris Barts, those erroneous lawsuits, exaggerated, embellished, if not outright lies. Twice the claims of every other state per capita. Same amount of wrecks per capita, same amount of vehicle and passenger damage per capita, yet twice the claims. No, think about that. If the trucks alone are $500, this scheme alone where Mata and Giles are found guilty, that's $500 a head. You could throw another $1,000 each with these, egregious attorneys, these injury attorneys that advertise so blatantly on billboards, radio, and television. No, it could be like $1,500 each. And when I throw out real examples like Johnny Utah, a guy who used to produce my show, to insure his vehicle in Salt Lake City, about the same metro area as New Orleans, about 1.2, 1.3 million in the metro of Salt Lake City. $80 a month. To insure the same vehicle in New Orleans, $280 a month. From $80 in Salt Lake City to $280 in New Orleans. That's $2,400 more a year. Got another example. A buddy who has a SUV in New Orleans, $3,400 a year to insure. In Birmingham, Alabama, $1,200 a year. That's $2,200 a year. It's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. So when I say, the estimate that they say, $500 for the 18-wheelers, the scheme, these staged wrecks, costing each and every one of us that pays an auto insurance premium $500 extra a year. Throw in the Dudley DeBosiers and the Morris Barts, the Get Gordon, all these jokers, make it another $1,000. It's probably like north of $1,500 each. Like more than doubling our auto insurance. Absolutely crazy. No, Mata and Giles were just way over the top with it. The Morris Barts, the Dudley DeBosiers, they're just a lot more quiet. It isn't like a planned scheme. They just take it the way it comes. I mean, Mata and Giles were setting up the wrecks and making sure the people in the wrecks that were staged go to them as lawyers. Morris Bart and Gordon and Dudley DeBosier, they do a bunch of advertising, and the people naturally gravitate in their direction a certain amount. No, and the message is just crap. Come get yours. You're due to get some money. Come get your free money. Your word against theirs. Just terrible. No, it's at least $1,500 a head for Metro New Orleanians insuring a car with like the 18-wheeler stage wrecks and these egregious attorneys like Morris Bart, Dudley DeBosier. I mean, they're rich and wealthy. Morris Bart lives on Audubon Place. Gordon flies the governor in a private jet to go hunting in Texas. And these people aren't rich, they're wealthy. Dudley DeBosier, a private equity firm, is coming in, buying into their firm, giving those guys tens of millions of dollars, and then expanding that firm and their ideal, how they do the advertising, their promotion, expanding it around the South, the entire region. Private equity investing in Dudley DeBosier because there's so much more money. The way you guys do it, the way you advertise, the message you push, we're going to spread it all around the South. Isn't that a good thing? I mean, my God. Got to get a choke chain already on these attorneys. But we know how that works in Baton Rouge and in D.C. Put a little money in the campaign fund, take them out to dinner, a hunting trip. You own them. The needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many, us. Those lawmakers in Baton Rouge are supposed to be working for us. Got to rein in these injury attorneys that are taking a few pennies, a few dollars out of each and every one of our pockets every single day. every single day. Could be to the tune of $800, $1,000, $1,200, $1,500 more a year. Hundreds of dollars more each month in auto insurance premiums because of these jokers alone. Corey Johnson with you. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Hey, every day this program can be heard on radio. 2 big hours, 4 to 6 o'clock every weekday. You can watch the show on television. Cox Channel 4, Spectrum Channel 333, all over Louisiana, 4 to 6 o'clock. 2 big hours every weekday. And yeah, on social media, Twitter, X, YouTube. It's always brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex, home of Lamarck Ford, the big store for over 45 years. I mean, if you're about to buy an Explorer, an F-150, a Mustang, why would you be going anywhere else but Lamarck Ford in Kenner? Have you seen these black label Lincoln SUVs? Lamarck Lincoln, the #1 Lincoln dealership in the state of Louisiana, has them out on the pad for you to check out right now in Kenner. And if you need a commercial truck, van, or SUV for your business, Lamarck Crescent City Ford has you covered on Jefferson Highway. Crescent City Ford for over 80 years. Every day, this program on radio, television, social media, brought to you by the Lamarck Automotive Complex and Lamarck Crescent City Ford. If you missed the 4 o'clock hour, you missed a lot. Fletcher Mackel joined us. If you missed the beginning of the 5 o'clock powwow this afternoon, you missed a lot. Michael Hecht joined us, talking about a couple hundred jobs coming to the CBD, airport expansion, a second terminal being built already. It's going to be right next door to the existing terminal. Another dozen gates or so on the west side of the existing terminal. There's a big tarmac, a big slab. It's going to go right there, connecting into the existing terminal. That's great news. That's great news. I mean, we just opened the new airport less than a decade ago, already expanding it. You know, Michael Hecht talked about all of that good stuff. Scott Craig's going to join us in a few minutes. He'll either be at Katie's or Francesca Deli. It's seafood night at both places. Ridiculous seafood platters. Giganticus. Huge seafood platters at both Katie's in Mid-City and Francesca Deli in Lakeview. Francesca Deli, the platter they use are those steaming trays you get like in a buffet line. The big rectangular one, they've got a seafood platter that fits inside of that. And then the half one, the square one, Francesca has a seafood platter for that. The square one's $50. And it definitely will feed 4 to 6, maybe 8 people. And the big one, the entire steam tray, that one's $75. I guarantee it'll feed like 8 to 12 people. When you break it down, it's like 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 a head for great fried seafood on a Friday during Lent at Katie's in Mid-City or Francesca Deli over there in Lakeview. Yeah, Scott Craig will join us in a few minutes. Hey, if you need a fence repaired or an automatic gate repaired, or if you need a brand new fence or automatic gate for your home, business, or any property, you got to see the fence man. For all of your backyard residential or commercial fencing or automatic gate needs, you got to see the fence man. East Bank, West Bank, North Shore, River Parishes, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, over 20 years of fence and gate building experience. Yeah, you got to see the fence man. Thefenceman-neworleans.com. Check them out online. Jimmy will take care of you. Thefenceman-neworleans.com. Corey Johnson with you. 5 o'clock powwow. Fantasy Friday edition of the program. Scott Craig joins us next.
There's a Middle Eastern restaurant that's less than 5 minutes from where Causeway and River Road meet. Lebanon's Cafe. Convenient to Old Metairie and Old Jefferson. Carrollton at Jeanette on the streetcar line. Lebanon's Cafe.
Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSAgency.com. Dave Miet Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miet, INSAgency.com.
If you're observing Lent, the Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes on Magazine, as unique as you.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
In New Orleans, we don't eat to live, we live to eat.
More is better.
Scott Craig of Katie's.
That is our slogan. More is better at Katie's. It means more of everything. Not just more food, more smiles, more friendship, more love, more. When you do something, you have to do it right. You know, it's all about more, and it's all more of the good things.
Get more at Katie's Restaurant in Mid-City.
South Shore residents that love good food are making the short trip across the lake to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. North Shore folks have known about Gallagher's 527 for years. Now the South Shore has discovered this hidden gem. One of the metro area's best restaurants is less than 30 minutes away. Take the quick trip across the lake and experience Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. As good as it gets.
Yeah, you right. Corey Johnson back at you. KieferandKiefer.com, a New Orleans law firm for decades. Nat Kiefer Sr., Senator Nat Kiefer Sr., he got the UNO Lakefront Arena built. It's called the Senator Nat Kiefer Sr. Lakefront Arena. His son, after graduating law school a couple years later, joined the firm. Now Nat Kiefer Jr.'s daughter, Megan, is in that firm. KieferandKiefer.com, a New Orleans law firm for decades. You have a real legal issue, you need real legal help, KieferandKiefer.com. Scott Craig, a proud UNO graduate and supporter, joins us live on the program again. What up, Scott?
KieferandKiefer.com?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm actually doing an event there tomorrow.
At the Lakefront Arena?
Yes, I do. I've done a lot of work there over the years, for like at least 20 years now. It's really how Katie's was rebuilt. I started working for CNN after Katrina, and it was a 3-month contract, and I ended up working for them for a year and a half because they knew I needed the gig, and I busted my butt for them, and I got to be friends with a lot of them. And and then, I worked at Holy Rosary. I did this school lunch program, and at the same time trying to rebuild Katie's. So the arena reopened, and they started having shows. And they had someone doing the catering, and I went out there and said, "You're missing the boat. You need me to do the catering." And they gave me a chance, and I've been doing it ever since.
That's great stuff.
Yeah, back then we had a lot of big shows, though, and we don't get the shows we used to have. But I catered Lady Gaga there.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was when she first got big, and I brought her dinner in her room, and she invited me in, and we chatted for a few minutes. And she was so nice, really nice lady.
Wow.
So,
Nice.
I like Lady Gaga. I like her music, too.
Scott,
anyway, that's just a little my back history.
that's a good fun fact. Scott Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca Deli. Lots of seafood on this Lenten Friday going down at Katie's.
Oh, yeah, big time. We've got 5 different types of fish tonight on the menu. We've got sea bass, which has been a big hit here. That's really taken off. I don't know how we're ever going to not have sea bass from now on, even though it's expensive. People really enjoy it. I've got beautiful redfish. I've got trout. I've got sheep's head. I've got catfish, fresh catfish, because we don't do frozen, and fresh tuna. So I actually have 6 fish.
Wow.
So we've got a full menu tonight of seafood, and at the deli, you can still do the Our Lady of Francesca Friday seafood. We do seafood platters, the half platter or the whole platter. You can't beat it. It's a great deal, and it's doing very, very well. So
It's still those steam trays you're using as the platter?
Yeah, they're called steam pans. It's you either get a half pan or a whole pan. And if you've been to an event somewhere and you see how they put food out in chafers,
Yep.
a whole pan is that big pan, and we fill that up with seafood and brips and hush puppies and crab cakes. I mean, it's a great deal, and it's become very popular. Or you can get a half of one of those, which feeds 4 people.
At least 4 people.
Yeah, that's $49 or $74 for the big one. Good deal. Really good deal.
You can't beat it. It ends up being like $7-8 a head. It's crazy.
Right. Yeah, you got to, if you want to feed the family seafood during Lent, you can't beat it. Tonight we've also got by popular demand, our seafood ravioli. So we're making raviolis again. And what else do we have, Marcus? We've got a plethora of seafood tonight, and we've got grouper. I forgot about grouper.
Wow,
we're doing a grouper sandwich for brunch and lunch at Katie's, and we always have the grouper sandwich at Francesca's. So
that is 7 different Gulf fish you have going tonight. 7.
It's crazy. I didn't realize it was that much, but yes, we do.
I don't think you got to go to GW Finn's to get 7 different fish at one restaurant.
You do, and I love G-Dubs. We're also doing a sea bass spinach salad. So with Katie's we get very, very creative, and we do a lot of our old favorites, and we try to do some new stuff sometimes. But I've got to give kudos to my staff at Katie's, because someone needs to do. Like the food critics that come out and say, this food's great, this restaurant's great, whatever. How about how difficult it is to execute as much as we do out of the smallest kitchen? We should do something like that, because we've got the smallest kitchen in the city to serve 200 people. It's great. So, yeah, you'd have to see it to believe it, Corey. I know you've been to Katie's many, many times, and you love it, but you don't see how it gets executed. It's crazy. So I'd like to do a write-up on that someday.
Scott Craig's with us from Katie's and Francesca Deli. This weather's fantastic, Scott.
Yeah.
The patio,
Nice
outdoor dining at Katie's is a must.
Yep. It's absolutely gorgeous outside right now. Need to take advantage of it. If we get about 3 days a year out of it, and this is the 3 days, because it's going to be hot soon. I was talking to Stephanie, my wife, this morning about, how pretty the weather is. And she said, she's from St. Louis. And when they were growing up, they'd be so excited that spring came, because that meant, the real cold weather's gone, and they'd have shorts on the first day of spring or whatever. In New Orleans, I don't know, man. I just look at it, oh boy, here comes the heat. And I try to be positive, but it's tough, man.
No, that summer heat's harsh, man. 90 degrees, 90% humidity.
It's
That's
amazing
why.
how hot it gets here. I don't look forward to that.
No, you got to take advantage of the weather we're having right now. For like the next week to 10 days, it's going to be 60s and 70s and sunny. Outdoor dining weather. Take advantage of it.
Listen, I understand the humidity's not going to be bad. It's going to be very pleasant.
Yeah.
The humidity's really what the problem is. So.
Yep. No, you're right. The humidity's a killer. Outdoor dining in the patio at Katie's.
Yeah, it's beautiful. For crawfish yesterday, we had the bar all set up.
Yep.
It was really cool back there. And our little crawfish Thursdays, that's taken off quite a bit. Marcus Tyler, our general manager, does his crawfish, and he said he learned how to cook crawfish in Mobile, but he's from Baltimore originally. His crawfish, he's got it down pat. He puts Conica sausage in it. The Conica sausage from Mobile, from Alabama.
Yep.
He puts that sausage in it. It's really good sausage. Very good sausage. But he has to have Conica sausage. Can't be anybody else's sausage.
He doesn't use that old Bay seasoning now, does he?
Oh, he doesn't use Old Bay seasoning in the crawfish. I'm sure he uses Old Bay seasoning in some of his cooking up there, but I won't allow it.
Smart.
He's sitting with me right now. We're on our way to UNO to set up this event tomorrow. I'm messing with him.
Hey, Scott, the Saints have been very aggressive in free agency. There's definite hope with the weakness of the NFC South division. The Saints appear to have a quarterback. They were aggressive in free agency, nailing down maybe 3 or 4 starters. They got the 8th pick overall in next month's draft. Get a couple of more starters there. There's a lot of hope and expectations with this Saints team, and it's legitimate.
Oh, it is legit, Corey. And, I don't think they need a running back now because they went out and got ATN. They've got Kamal coming back. They need a receiver, but I do not think they should take a receiver at 8. The draft is loaded with receivers, and I think they need to focus on cornerback right up the road in Baton Rouge. Got a really good one, or a linebacker, and they could use another defensive lineman. But I just don't think they need to go offense with that 8th pick. And God help us if they pick another offensive lineman. We just need to keep Mickey Loomis locked in the closet and let Moore do this. Let him handle it. Just joking, Mick.
Hey, any selections with March Madness?
My Final Four. I've got plenty of selections today. I went about yesterday. I think I went 12 and 8 or something. It was something crazy. But what is it? But I've got some picks today, but I can't tell you what they are, buddy, because I'm driving.
Who's your Final Four?
My Final Four is UConn, Florida, Arizona. And one of them. I want to say Michigan. UConn, Florida, Arizona, and Michigan. And Michigan's maybe. I did a little bracket with Gus, John, and Raphael. Just did a little bracket with the 4 of us. And
yeah.
That was my Final Four. I don't even know what happened today. I've been so busy today, but I know I was, gambling. I won the first 2. That never works out. Yesterday, I won 8 out of 9 and ended up almost even. I woke up this morning. What happened to all my money?
That's the way it goes,
That's the way
man.
It works.
It always evens out. There's no doubt about it.
Always does.
No doubt.
It's just for fun. I don't take that stuff seriously.
Nope, and I know you're not playing a lot. Francesca Deli, seafood night. Katie's, 7 different fish from the Gulf, fresh. 7 different fish they're serving tonight at Katie's in Mid-City. Scott, always a pleasure, brother.
It's Corey. I wish I could have been on longer today, but I'll talk to you next week.
Yep, heading over to the
Bye,
Nat
bro.
Kiefer UNO Arena.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, you're right. That's Scott Craig
Bye,
from
man.
Francesca Deli. And Katie's in Mid-City. Lots of Lenten specials. I'm not kidding you. 7 different fish, fresh from the Gulf. 7 that Scott Craig serving tonight at Katie's. That's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday afternoon. The 5 o'clock power hour continues. Don't go anywhere, New Orleans. Absolutely gorgeous weather. Wherever you're going tonight for dinner, make sure you dine outside because this weather's absolutely fantastic.
The Steak Knife in Lakeview is a great place to go. Start off with one of their 5 incredible salads with crab meat and avocado. How about a cup of seafood gumbo with shrimp, crab meat, and oysters? The crab meat au gratin as an appetizer or entree is as good as it gets. And speaking of entrees, try the Gulf Fish Robert, usually speckled trout or puppy drum, topped with jumbo lump crab meat. The Steak Knife in Lakeview for Lent.
For game-changing innovation, look to the Latrim family of companies located in Harahan. Intralox, a Latrim company, changed the game when they invented modular plastic conveyor belts over 40 years ago. These belts and innovative Intralox technology are transforming movement in manufacturing facilities around the world. Intralox is a dynamic global company now hiring in production, warehousing, shipping, and more. If you want to be part of our successful team, visit Latrim.com. That's LAITRAM.com.
Scott Craig of Katie's Restaurant.
All of my ingredients are fresh. Nothing comes out of a can here. Nothing. All of our seafood is Louisiana. All of our vegetables are Louisiana vegetables. It's a neighborhood restaurant.
Katie's in Mid-City.
Isn't it time to have that dream backyard you've always wanted? LGD Lawn and Landscapes can make it happen with artificial turf installation. Synthetic turf gives you the look and feel of natural grass. You get a beautiful lawn without the ongoing expenses of maintenance and no puddles, meaning you won't be tracking grass or dirt into the house. Let LGD come to your house and give you a free estimate. NOLALGD.com. Which Metro New Orleans area restaurant made CNN's top 50 in America and ThrillList.com's top 25 and has served presidents at the White House for over 40 years? Trey Yen in Mandeville.
Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com. Dave Miette Insurance Agency. Auto, home, flood, business. 504-556-0809. Dave Miette, INSagency.com.
Tired of cleaning your gutters? Improve the value and look of your home with Leaf Guard gutters. And
You'll never have to clean your gutters again, ever. I guarantee it.
let Audubon Gutters install Leaf Guard gutters today. You'll improve the look and value of your home. And right now is the perfect time during Audubon Gutters 99-cent installation sale. Call 469-6494 now.
Get out of that gutter and get on the phone. At Audubon Gutters.
Word is, one of the best restaurants in New Orleans isn't even in New Orleans. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Cross the lake and taste what you're missing. Tuesday through Saturday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville.
Looking for a great steak tonight? The Steak Knife in Lakeview, serving only USDA prime beef. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife since 1971 on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park.
Why wear the same old glasses that everyone else is wearing? Stand out from the crowd. Come to Art and Eyes. Art and Eyes is not your typical eyeglasses store. It's one of the finest eyewear shops in the country, right here in New Orleans, with precision-engineered prescription lenses and gorgeous high-quality frames from the heart of Europe, Japan, and the United States. Our products are thoughtfully curated, and our staff are here to help you find exactly the right frames. Art and Eyes, a magazine as unique as you.
Young's Dry Cleaning, with 2 walk-up locations with personal service. Young's on Claiborne and Young's on Harrison Avenue in Lakeview. Young's Dry Cleaning. Call 288-8381 or online at youngsdrycleaning.com. Trey Yen in Mandeville, a New Orleans tradition for over 40 years, serving the finest Louisiana-inspired Chinese cuisine. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Trey Yen.
Greater New Orleans, a destination for learning. With 13 colleges and universities and a booming job market, Greater New Orleans is the ultimate destination for your higher education. Your path to the future begins in Greater New Orleans. Find out more at studynola.com.
Outdoor dining, Middle Eastern cuisine, under the oak trees, Lebanon's Cafe, some of the city's finest lamb chops and shish kebab, Carrollton at Jeanette by the streetcar barn, Lebanon's Cafe.
When you need a new fence or automatic gate at your property or place of business, anywhere in Metro New Orleans, you got to see the Fence Man. For over 20 years, the Fence Man has been taking care of residential and commercial customers, uses only the highest quality materials and products.
'Cause I'm the fence man.
For fences and automatic gates.
Yeah, I'm the fence man.
Thefenceman-neworleans.com.
The Steak Knife restaurant in Lakeview has been at it for over 50 years. The reason? Because the Roth family does it right, serving only USDA prime beef, a neighborhood restaurant. But you don't have to live in the Lakeview neighborhood to enjoy the Steak Knife. Open Tuesday through Saturday night. The Steak Knife on Harrison Avenue between Canal Boulevard and City Park. For a reservation, call 488-8981 or online, steakkniferestaurant.com.
Broadcasting live from the Buddy Deliberto Total Maintenance Studios. Corey Johnson with you on a Friday. Vanessa Mata from the Mata Law Firm. Jason Giles from the King Law Firm, found guilty on multiple charges in those staged wrecked schemes with the 18-wheelers. Basically, Mata and Giles, essentially the same charges. Conspiracy to commit mail fraud and wire fraud, mail fraud, obstruction of justice, witness tampering. Their law firms as well. The feds nail them, found guilty, multiple charges. As expected, this scheme with the 18-wheelers and these attorneys reportedly costing each and every auto insurance purchaser, someone in Metro New Orleans that buys auto insurance, about $500 extra to our premium annually. $500 just from this. This scheme alone adds $500 to each and every person that has auto insurance in Metro New Orleans, adds $500 as the guesstimate to their annual premium. You throw in the Dudley DeBosiers and the Morris Barts and those types of attorneys, it's got to be like north of $1,200, $1,500. We're all paying extra. I mean, these attorneys do very well. Morris Bart lives on Audubon Place. He's a multimillionaire. Dudley DeBosier, those chumps, multimillionaires. They're about to become much richer. A national, equity firm is coming in. They're investing in Dudley DeBosier to spread that law firm all around the South, all around the region. They'll be in multiple states. Get Gordon, that goofus now in New Orleans. It's a few pennies, a few dollars out of each and every one of ours pockets every day on a daily basis. The money doesn't fall out of the sky. We have the same number of wrecks, the same amount of damage to the vehicles and the occupants, yet we have 2 times the claims. These advertising attorneys on radio, television, and the billboards everywhere, they're begging people to sue. They're telling you, sue, get yours. Your guy down the street got his, you get yours. And it also sends a message like, if you have to deal with a claim with an insurance company, you need an injury attorney. It sort of sends that message indirectly. Now, I've said it before. the legislature in Baton Rouge needs to scour the country and find the strictest television, radio, and billboard laws that apply to injury attorneys and enact them in Louisiana. The ones that have been tested, where these injury attorneys, the billboard companies, radio and television have sued, saying the law is unconstitutional, and a higher court saying, no, it's not. Find the strictest laws that have to do with injury attorneys advertising on radio, television, and billboards nationwide, the ones that have stuck, and implement those in Louisiana. No, but here it's the needs of the few outweigh the needs of the many. The needs of the few, these rich to wealthy injury attorneys that are taking a few bucks out of everybody's pocket every day. No, it's obnoxious. It's obnoxious. Vanessa Mata and Jason Giles were just hyper egregious, way over the top, ridiculously criminal, like literally breaking the law. These other ones I mentioned, like Morris Bart, Dudley DeBosier, Get Gordon, I don't know if they're breaking the law, but they definitely lack ethics, morals, and integrity. They know a lot of their clients are full of crap, that at the very least they're exaggerating or embellishing the injury, if not outright lying. And they're taking the case all the way to the insurance company and making a big claim. So no, we really need to reel these folks in. I'm for the First Amendment. I do talk radio, talk television, for crying out loud. The lawyers have a right to advertise. It just needs to be reeled in. There needs to be regulations. It's too over the top, and proofs in our ridiculously high auto insurance rates. The number one mover, these lawyers. Vanessa Mata, Jason Giles, found guilty by a federal jury, multiple charges in these stage wreck schemes with the 18-wheelers. Hey, tonight for dinner, Lent Friday, Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. Get the crab meat St. Francis appetizer. If you go to Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville, you have to get the crab meat St. Francis appetizer. One of the most delicious things you'll ever eat in your life. Absolutely fantastic. They're ready for you on this Lenten Friday. Gallagher's 527 in Mandeville. That's Blue Boy barking up a storm. Have a great weekend. Get out and enjoy this weather. I'll see you Monday at 4
on
o'clock.
The Neutral Ground with Corey Johnson. On TV on Cox Channel 4 and Spectrum Channel 333. Also on YouTube. On radio at NOLA Talk 93.9 FM. WSLA New Orleans.
It's 6 p.m.